friends, in this video we are going to discuss the questions that were asked from the topic noise pollution in the June 2020 NET exam. So as you all know, this area comes under the module people development and environment. So here you have the first question, and this question was asked for the management students, and the question goes like this. According to Noise Pollution Regulation and Control Rules 2000, the nighttime noise standard prescribed for educational institutions is, and you have the options 55 decibels, 50 decibel, 45 decibel and 40 decibel. So here you have to identify the noise standard prescribed for educational institutions under the noise pollution rules of 2000. So to answer this question, we have to first understand the 4 different areas that are categorized under this noise pollution rules. So under this noise pollution regulation and control rules, we have 4 different areas, and also for each of these areas or zones we have a prescribed noise standard as well, and also that too for daytime and nighttime as well. So the 4 different areas or zones are industrial area or zone, commercial area, residential area, and finally silent zone. And the prescribed noise standard for each of this area during the daytime are 75 decibel for industrial areas, commercial areas it is 65 decibel, and for residential area it is 55 decibel and 50 decibel for silent zone. And on the other hand, you have nighttime as well, or the voice noise standard prescribed for nighttime as well. So that goes like this: industrial area 70 decibel, commercial area 55 decibel, residential area 45 decibel, and silent zone is 40 decibel. So the question which was asked is about the prescribed noise standard for educational institutions during the night time, right? So if you consider the table here, this educational institutions and hospitals, all these institutions comes under the silent zone. So that is where these educational institutions and hospitals and all those categories are coming. In that case, we have a prescribed noise standard of 50 decibel during daytime for silent zone, and 40 decibel, a prescribed noise standard of 40 decibel during the night time. If that's the case, it is asked us to find out the noise standard prescribed for this educational institutions which comes under the silent zone during the night time. So that is 40 decibel, right? So the right answer for this question is option 4. Moving to the next question, and this was asked for the physical education students. Noise pollution is measured in decibels with reference to a standard sound intensity of the following magnitude. So this is basically a very factual question, and it says that noise pollution is measured in decibels, and it isn't with reference to a standard sound intensity. So what is that sound intensity which is a reference to the noise pollution measurement? So that is what it asked here, right? So it's basically a very factual question, and you have to know what is that magnitude of sound intensity that is there. So noise pollution is measured in decibels with reference to a standard sound intensity of 1 picowatt per meter square. So that is something that you have to remember. Noise pollution is basically measured in decibels, and it is measured with reference to a standard sound intensity, and that is 1 picowatt per meter square in magnitude. Okay, so that is the question all about. And one additional information that you can remember in respect to this particular question is that WHO, the World Health Organization, defines noise above 65 decibels as noise pollution. This is one extra information that you can remember. So WHO defines noise above 65 decibels as noise pollution. And one more thing, noise pollution is measured in decibels, that is very important, and also it is measured in decibels with reference to a standard sound intensity, and that is 1 picowatt per meter square. So that is a very direct question, and the right answer for this question is option 1, 1 picowatt per meter square. Alright. So here you have the next question, and this was asked for the geography shift. And the question goes like this: the impact of noise pollution on human health is governed by. So what are the factors which governs the impact of noise pollution on human health? That is the question. So this is actually a very general question, because if you read the options that are given, if you can just read and understand it, you can answer the question. So these types of questions are also coming from this particular area. So the first two questions that we were discussed is basically very factual questions, right? And these are certain questions, they were general in nature, so if you can just read and understand the options, you can answer the question. So two categories, all these two types of questions can be expected from this particular topic, that is noise pollution. So if you consider the options here, you have intensity of noise, duration of noise, socioeconomic status of an individual, sensitivity of human ear, and frequency range of noise. So from these options, if you consider option C, socioeconomic status of an individual, that has nothing to do with this noise pollution, right, and its impact on human health as such. In that case, you can eliminate that option, and if you consider the other four options, intensity of noise, duration of noise, sensitivity of human ear, and frequency range of noise, all these can actually govern the impact, or it can contribute to the impact of noise pollution on human health. In that case, the right answer for this question is A, B, D and D. So A, B, D and D is option 1, so the right answer is option 1. Moving to the next question, this is again a question which is similar to the last one that we have discussed, general questions, right. So this question was asked for the shift in which we had anthropology, home science, public administration, social work and yoga, and the question was like this: exposure to excessive noise pollution can cause. So again, this is a very general question if you consider the options that are given here. So exposure to excessive noise pollution can cause hearing impairment, insomnia, rise in blood pressure, respiratory diseases, reduced work efficiency. So if you consider the options here, this one, option D, respiratory disease. So respiratory disease has nothing to do with noise pollution, right? It is not associated with noise pollution, so respiratory disease can be eliminated from the option. And if you consider the other options that are given, hearing impairment, obviously if you are exposed to excessive noise pollution, then obviously that can affect your hearing. So hearing impairment can be considered as an answer for this question. And insomnia, that is actually a sleeping disorder where we lack sleep, proper sleep, right. So that is again this exposure to excessive noise pollution can actually cause those kind of sleeping disorders as well. So that can be taken. Rise in blood pressure, that is again a cause, that is again something that this noise pollution can cause. And respiratory disease, I have already mentioned, it has nothing to do with noise pollution, so you can eliminate that option. And reduced work efficiency, that is again that can also considered as something that is caused due to excessive noise pollution. In that case, the right answer for this question will contain option A, B, C and D. So A, B, C and D is option 4. So the right answer for this question is option 4. So in this video, we have discussed the questions that were asked from this particular area, noise pollution, in the June 2020 exam. So as you all know, if you consider pollution as a topic, that is very important from NET point of view, and from which noise pollution is again an important topic that you have to concentrate on, because we are getting a lot of questions from this particular topic. So as I have already mentioned, you can expect two categories or two types of questions from this particular topic. You can have, or you can expect factual questions like the ones that we have discussed in the first part of this video, and also there are general questions as well. So the questions in which if you can just read the options and understand it, that in itself will help you to answer those types of questions. So if you lack a guidance for your preparations for Nta Ugc NET, here we are Appleby Academy very happy to help you out in your preparations. So if you need to get an effective strategy for your learning, or if you are lacking the proper resources for your learning, then you can surely connect with us, Appleby Academy. So we have classroom classes as well as online classes available here. So if you want to know more about our classes, you can just contact the number that is given in the description box. So I hope this video will be really helpful in your preparations. Thank you and happy learning.